Right, gentlemen, method 3 on making a werewolf. Magic. Not the posh card trick kind, or pulling a rabbit out of a hat. No, we're talking the darker stuff. Spells, charms, enchanted belts, salves and rituals. The sort of thing you'd find in the back of pages of the medieval herbalist, just next to the cure for gout and 3 ways to summon Satan accidentally. One of the most famous ideas that we've previously mentioned is in Europe with the wolfskin belt. In parts of Germany, Hungary and the Balkans, people believed if you strapped on a belt made of wolf hide, sometimes gifted by the devil himself, you'd transform into a wolf. Simple as buckling your trousers. Which raises the question, what happens if someone borrows it by mistake? Imagine poor Wilhelm late for church, can't find his belt, grabs the wrong one. Suddenly he's howling in the nave and frightening the bishop. In Hungary, they whispered about the Farkasov, a cursed girdle that passed through villages like a bad penny. Wear it, and you became a wolf. Refuse to wear it, and you might get eaten by the bloke who did. Then there were the salves. In modern Europe, accused witches were often said to smear themselves with special ointments to change shape. Recipes varied. Some included wolf fat, deadly nightshade, belladonna and poppy. Rub that on your skin, and frankly, you'd see all sorts of things. You'd also probably die of poisoning, but before that, you'd be absolutely convinced you were running about as a wolf, which frankly is enough for the villagers to be chasing you with pitchforks. The devil chap was often blamed for handing out these salves at his parties. Sabbaths, I believe they're called, complete with naked dancing, wine, and complimentary wolf transformation. Like a grotesque medieval spa weekend, I suppose. But it wasn't all ointments and belts. Oh no, there were rituals. In France, some believed that if you said certain charms backwards, often prayers but reversed, under a full moon, you'd trigger the change. The idea being, if you mangled the words of the Almighty badly enough, he gives up and lets the devil have you. And no bloody wonder. In the Carpathians, there was a ritual where you stood inside a circle, cursed God, and called on the wolf spirits, which frankly is exactly the sort of pastime that gets you smited by lightning, or worse maybe, recruited by Jenkins for karaoke night. Don't do it, it's not fun. And then there were the odd ones too. In Poland, for example, there's a folk tale where sleeping in the open on certain saints' days, like St. Lucy's Day, could wolf you. No spells, no belts, just fall asleep in the wrong field and wake up craving sheep, which must be awfully awkward for some farmers. And of course, we mustn't forget the devil himself. In countless trial records, suspects confessed under duress that old Nick had handed them the tools directly. Belts, salves, even cloaks. Congratulations, you've signed the pact. Here's your complimentary transformation kit. Do mind the silver bullets, won't you? To the church, werewolves were just another extension of witchcraft. If witches flew in on broomsticks, then werewolves ran on 4 legs. Same boss, different uniforms. Now, historians often point out that a lot of these magical methods had, how shall I put it, medical explanations. Those ointments with belladonna and henbane, hallucinogenic as anything. The wolf belts, sometimes they were just ordinary wolf pelts worn by the peasants in winter, mistaken for shape-shifting in the dark. But of course, to a frightened village in 1580, if you see Wilhelm running about in a wolfskin foaming at the mouth because he's eaten the wrong mushrooms, you don't say medical emergency, you say kill the beast. And that's how magic and folklore blurred into one another, half pharmacy, half demonology, and entirely terrifying if you were the unlucky sod wearing the belt. So there you have it, the magical werewolf, not cursed by God, not born into a hairy family, but made by belts, potions, charms, and the occasional backwards prayer. Which frankly makes me grateful that the most dangerous thing I've ever rubbed on my skin was moustache wax, and even that nearly killed me in 42. Dreadful thing. Right, next time we'll be tackling method 4, voluntary transformation and initiation rites, in which certain lunatics actually choose by God to become werewolves. Proof, if ever it was needed, that some people have far too much time on their hands. And Jenkins, if you bring a belt to the next briefing, I'm shooting you first and asking questions later.